Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is July 27th, 2019. My name is Joy Durham. I'm a wellness advocate with doTERRA, and we're going to continue our series on family wellness. Today, we're going to focus on kids and teens. That's very important. Okay, there we go. All right, it was locked up. It wouldn't go. So the agenda for today is why should we focus on the kids and their wellness as well, which isn't obvious. We know we should focus on them, but why really? Natural solutions, how can we do that? How can we focus on their health and wellness as well using natural solutions? And how can we empower them to take and to invest in their health as well? And how do you get the oils or the supplements in your home? So these are all the things that are going to be in the class today. So I always start with a little bit of housekeeping. I have a note at the beginning, so I want everybody to be clear about the information they're going to receive and who I am. I want you to know that the information that I share has not been evaluated by the FDA. I want to state up front, I'm not a doctor. The products and methods are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illnesses, nor is it intended to replace proper medical help. I share personal experiences of myself and others that I know that use natural solutions, and there is a ton of research to back up what we recommend and the experiences that we have. Just get you a good resource, and you'll see, you can go to places like PubMed to get the research to back it up. But you should always consult a physician that you trust so that you can bounce your ideas off of them as well. And a good physician should support you in your journey and when you want to try natural solutions as well. But my goal today is to make sure you have options and that you're aware of all your options that you can do. So you must be wondering, but why? Why, Joy? Why do you do this? Why are you doing this class? Well, it's very simple. For me personally, I believe that plants are powerful, and I'm committed to leading a path toward plant wellness by living my best plant-based life. So that is my goal, is to have a fully plant-based life. As my company, Joy's Oil Well, the mission statement is that we're committed to providing a path to plant wellness by teaching and distributing certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, coaching people on a whole foods plant-based lifestyle, and encouraging people to include nature-centered exercise in their life. So let's get started. So we're going to talk about kids today. And you see this figure right here. So the cost of raising a child, and this was in the year 2013, this is the estimates, was $245,340. That is a lot of money, and that is from birth to age 18, which is technically when we consider they're adults, but we all know that they continue to need their parents even after the age of 18. So that is a nice chunk of change right there. So what that says to me is that having and raising a child is a real investment. And so one of the things we need to think about is we need to make sure we're protecting and taking care of this investment. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this class today. So what are some of the facts? So these are some of the facts that I pulled, and they're in certain categories that we're going to focus on today in terms of overall health, exercise, food, and sleep. So these are some main things, some main components of wellness that we need to think of in general for ourselves, but particularly with our children. And so this is, I know, a little more wordy than what I normally like to present, but I wanted to have these facts on here because I want us to really think about what are the state of the children right now. So in terms of health, in the United States, the percentage of children and adolescents affected by obesity has tripled since 1970s. So that is not that long ago. I was born in the 70s, so it's not that long. And so this data is from 2015 and 2016, and it shows that you have nearly 1 in 5 school-age children and young people, which is between 6 and 19, in the United States has obesity. So you can talk about, and you can look up what is the term for obesity. Basically, they look at their BMI and healthy weight. They're 1 in 5 are outside of that. And I think if you look at certain groups of children, it's even higher. In certain areas, demographics is going to be even higher. So exercise. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans, which is a book, second edition, recommends that children and adolescents ages 6 17 do 60 minutes or more of moderate to vigorous exercise daily. So if you think about it, our children getting that? I think in general, no. If they're in school, if they have PE, they may be. But in general, I don't think that we're doing. I remember when I was younger, exercise, I was always running. I was gone from the time they told me to go outside until the street lights came on. And we know in general, that isn't happening anymore. And so in terms of food, we have about 3/4 of the population has eating patterns that are low in fruit, vegetables, dairy, and oils. Most Americans exceed their recommendations for added sugars, saturated fats, and sodium, which means we eat too much of those. And most Americans are consuming too many calories. So I know, particularly if you look at portion control and how much we're eating, it's out of control for us as adults, which means obviously it's going to spill over into being out of control for children. One thing you can do, and I used to do this all the time, was I would keep a food journal and I would track what I was eating, and then I would calculate the calories. And it was just mind-boggling to think, what? That's like 3 times the amount of calories that I should be having in this, particularly in the processed food or the fast food, that you would get that. And, we are fast food junkies in this country. So, and sleep is something we don't think about all the time, but sleep is very important, especially for children and adolescents. They don't get enough sleep. And when they don't get enough sleep, they're at a higher risk for many health problems, including obesity, diabetes, poor mental health, and injuries. They're also more likely to have attention and behavior problems, which can contribute to poor academic performance in school. So at the end of these, I'll have the sources. There's a lot of good information on the CDC page. So go to cdc.gov. They have a lot of information, and they have a lot of strategies to help you as well. And then choosemyplate.gov. So those are the 2 places that I really relied on today to bring you a little bit of information. I like having background information because it kind of gives you a frame of reference and it sets the stage for what we're going to talk about today. So as parents, what can you do? Or guardians, what can you do? Well, the main thing that you can do is to model and encourage habits that help promote lifelong healthy habits. So it's one thing just to tell them to do it. It's another thing to do it yourself and incorporate it into the whole family's lifestyle. So that old adage where, you can tell someone what to do or you can show them, what to do. And so this is true in terms of helping our kids develop lifestyle changes. So one thing, setting a regular bedtime and rise time, getting up and going to bed, that's good. Even on the weekends and even in the summer. This is, I know, something that's horrible for me because I remember when I was a child, I was so happy for summer and breaks because that meant that I could stay up as long as I wanted. And my kids are older now. They're teenagers, and I know they stay up way too late. So this is one thing that can help, is having regular bedtimes for everybody in the family. Implement a media curfew. That could be for everybody. That's the hard one there, because especially if even the parents are on their phones before they go to sleep, or they have TV on or a tablet on to go to bed. This is something you can think about, because that is disrupting you trying to get a good night's sleep as well. Exercise with your child. I have a picture here. My daughter and I are part of a walking group that is called Girl Trek, and you can see when you do it together, it is a total different experience for the child, and it's a totally different experience for you in your bonding. So find something that you both enjoy doing and make that a regular part of your life. Meal plan with your kids. So changing the way that they eat is going to start with, I believe, incorporating them into the changes. So one thing we did here was, we talk about what you want, but then sometimes we have them say, you're responsible for dinner this day. So what are you going to do? You're going to cook it and everything, because since our kids are older, and we help them as well when we're in the kitchen, but just meal plan with them, encourage them to learn how to prepare their own healthy foods. And the whole thing is to make it fun. When it's fun and it's something that we're all enjoying, then you're more likely to do it. So one of the things I have on here is the My Plate, which, if you're familiar with the old food pyramid, they have really moved more towards something called My Plate. So if you go to myplate.gov, there is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of resources there that you can use, and it can help you make these lifestyle changes. So it's showing you what is the current recommended My Plate looks like. So half of your plate should be fruits and veggies. you should have a little more than a fourth in grains, and then the rest should be protein. And dairy actually has been moved off the plate as something on the side, so you can have it included or not included. So they also have other options. So they have other plates that you can work towards that are going to be vegetarian or vegan. So they have included a lot of different options, but in general, the main thing that stands out to me is that half of our plate should be fruits and veggies. And if you look at what our plate typically looks like, if you look over to the right, it's mostly protein, grains, 21%, protein 38, veggies 29%, fruits 12, and then includes often includes a lot of dairy, which is 50%, which is 48%. So in that 48%, that's where your cheese, your milk, your ice cream, lots of things that we should probably be limiting. So basically, the whole point of this page right here is to say we should be making lifestyle changes, and the one way to do that is to incorporate natural solutions. So let's talk a little bit more about fats. So one thing, and I want to add some, I forgot some facts I wanted to include, was that sleep recommended for ages 6 to 12 years old, they should have 9 to 12 hours per day. 13 to 18-year-olds should have 8 to 10 hours per day. And so right now, about 60% of middle schoolers are not getting enough sleep, and a lot more high schoolers, like 73% of high schoolers are not getting enough sleep. That's one thing we need to make sure we look at. And then, let's see, one thing I want to point out, and people don't think about this, is that 80% of your health, your wellness, and your weight has to do with your food and what you're putting into your mouth every day. All right. So what are one of the natural solutions that we can incorporate? And that is going to be using essential oils and products that include essential oils. And so why Joy? Why? Because for me, the essential oils are a powerful plant medicine, but they're also a powerful component of the nutrients that we need. And three cool things that I love about essential oils is that they're safer, they're more effective, and they're less expensive than the chemicals and the pharmaceutical alternatives that we're used to. So how do we use essential oils? Three ways: aromatically, topically, and internally. And I go over this in every class at the beginning so that everybody's on the same page. And if this is the first class that you have tuned into, then you need this information too. So aromatic just means in the air. You can breathe it in, you can put it in oils in your hands, you can cup it over your mouth and your nose and breathe it in. You can put it in a diffuser. I had a couple diffusers going this morning when I first woke up. And the reason we do that is that it kills the germs that are in the air. It can help open your airways. It can affect your mood. And it also means that everybody in the room or in the home can get the benefits of you diffusing. Another way to use it is to use it topically or on your skin. So you can apply it to your head, to your feet, maybe behind your ears, from your chest, the back of your neck, or any place that you need to address an issue. So like if you're experiencing some kind of back discomfort, then you can take it and you can put the oils right there. Lots of times we put them on the bottoms of our feet if we're not sure exactly where to put it, because it's going to get where it needs to go when you put it on the bottom of your feet. Look up reflexology and you'll see what I'm talking about. But within 30 seconds, the oils are going to get into the bloodstream and it's going to start affecting your entire body. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty fast. A lot of times people are really surprised with how quickly the oils work. And then internally, and I do this every day. So you take internally, you can put it under your tongue, which is probably my favorite. You can put it in a gel capsule or you can put it in water. And so one thing I do want to caution is that you need to make sure you're using highly pure and safe oils. And so that's why I chose the doTERRA oils, because they're certified pure therapeutic grade. And so I don't use oils that are found in grocery stores or other stores or over the counter or things like that. I only use the doTERRA ones because I trust the quality and to be able to ingest them as well. So we talked about the choose my plate a little bit, and we're used to that old food pyramid. And I never really liked it because I was vegetarian, transitioning to vegan. because I really felt like it wasn't a holistic approach. So doTERRA has something that I absolutely adore, and it's called the Wellness Pyramid. And I love this because this is a holistic approach. This is looking at the whole person. And so as you look at this, this is basically what we were just talking about, all the areas where our children are struggling now. And so if you look at the base, what is the cornerstone of wellness is eating right. And so that is where we start. And so what I'm showing here are some of the things that we use in our home that help us achieve wellness in the different stages on this wellness pyramid. So eating right. So sometimes if you need to lose weight, like I need to get weight off and things, there are products that can help you, like Slim and Sassy, the oil, or using lemon in your water, or using some of the protein shakes. All of those things are going to help you eat right. So once you get to your ideal weight, then you can also be able to maintain it. So eating right is very important, which is nutrition, which, guys, I could talk for hours about nutrition because that is a really big passion of mine. I'm a certified nutrition coach, so that's why I'm like, I could just talk. We're going to keep going because I know I like to keep these at, around half an hour or less. So exercise, that's another thing that's really important. We talked about that. And sometimes, as the kids may start exercising and it's not something they've done a lot of, or they're not used to doing some strenuous or new exercises, they're going to have some aches and pains. And that's when we pull out the Deep Blue and we put it on. Rest and stress management, that's sleeping. That's where you need to de-stress and to rest. And so some of the things that we use are like Serenity oil or lavender oil. Reducing toxic load. We've been talking all year about reducing toxic load in our homes, and it starts by looking at what products we're using in our home, what for cleaning and for self-care. What are we looking at and what are we putting in and on our bodies? And so one thing that I've switched out a lot of are our cleaning products. I use the On Guard cleaning products now, and what we have pictured here is a hand sanitizing spray. I am not ashamed to say that I am a germaphobe, and I was addicted to having hand sanitizer with me all the time. But I learned that those were not healthy for us because the traditional hand sanitizers are stripping your protection that you have, is taking off the good and the bad germs that you may have on your hands. So the On Guard I love because it's going to put a layer of protection, and it keeps the good bacteria there as well. So in the top of that, so all those things we just mentioned are all lifestyle changes. And these are things that we can change and we have control of. Above that dotted line, you see healthcare. And so informed self-care, being up to date and knowing and understanding and listening to your body, and then having proactive medical care. So I just want to make sure everyone understands, at no point do I ever say that you should not see a doctor, that you should completely get rid of professional medical care. There is a place for that. I just feel that we always turn to that first for things that we could be taking care of ourselves. And so what has happened at the emergency rooms have turned into doctors' offices, and that's not what it is. If it's truly an emergency and you need to see a physician, then you need to see one. But if you just have a sniffle or something, you can take care of that, especially if you know what it is. You can do that with some natural solutions. Okay, Joy's off her soapbox. So let's look at some oils. What are some oils for kids? And so this is what we want to focus on. How can we help our little ones? Well, one thing that's really exciting is last year, the doTERRA came out with some blends for kids, specifically for kids. And if you see on the left, you see several roller bottles in that picture, and they're called Calmer, Rescuer, Steady, Stronger, Thinker, and Brave. So that is our kids line. And so you can buy those individually, or they come in a full little case, really cute little case that they come in. But what I love about this graphic is that it's showing you the comparison of the kids rollers to what we have been using, or what many adults are using. So if you've been using Serenity or Lavender, now there's a blend called Calmer, which is the restful blend. Deep Blue, you can use Rescue, or the grounding blend for kids is called Steady. So what's really funny is, like, this past week, we had a BOGO on Tuesday, and if you bought Calmer, you got Thinker free, and that is an awesome, awesome BOGO. So if you got that BOGO, kudos to you, because that BOGO is one. Those two oils together are really good with helping children that have hyperactivity difficulties and kids that may be on the autism spectrum. So those are two really good oils to have, the Calmer and the Thinker. They all are, but if you want to build them up slowly, those are a couple that I would start with, especially if your child has is hyperactive. But if your child has anxiety, some of the ones you may want to think about are steady and brave. So, and then if your child is prone to picking up germs a lot, they're the ones that are going to always have the runny nose and around other kids. School's about to start, so we want to get our arsenal ready. Then the stronger is the protective blend that's going to help with an immune boosting. So, and the thing to think about with kids is keep it simple, because they're not going to want to take a bunch of stuff. They're not going to want to do a bunch of stuff. The reason why I love the kids blends is because they're already in roller bottles, which is really easy for them to use and to apply themselves. But some other things you want to think about with doTERRA for kids, and I borrowed this from the hippie punk mom because it was such a cute graphic, and are that there are vitamins. There are A to Z chewable vitamins, and actually my 14-year-old, that's what he takes. He won't swallow any pills, and so he's like, I'll take those. So if you remember the Flintstone vitamins from like the 70s and 80s, that's what they remind me of. Peace oil, and that also comes in a roller. That's something that you can use for them. You can try that with or versus the steady roller. You make sure you always have fractionated coconut oil on hand, because you don't, with little ones or with children, or you don't know how sensitive their skin may be to a certain oil. And so everyone's going to be different. So you always have the fractionated coconut oil on hand, because you want to dilute it. If they become sensitive, if they say, it tingles at all, or if it gets a little red or sensitive on that area, you just add the fractionated coconut oil, and it will dilute the oil, and it will help with that sensitivity. Having On Guard cleaner is very important, because we can have a non-toxic cleaner for your kitchen, your bath, your whole house. This is something that I really encourage teachers to use in their classrooms when they're wiping down desks and things, because it's non-toxic. So I don't have to worry about, I tell my kids, go get the spray bottle, and clean, something. I don't have to worry about, what's in there, what could be toxic to them. Digestin is also an oil that we love. It's a blend, and it can help with reducing bloating, gas, and occasional indigestion. And it comes in several different forms. You just kind of figure out, I like the roller. Again, there's a roller for this, because you can just roll it around their tummy. So if they're having any issues, what I typically do is roll it around their belly button, or I'll drop their belly button, and that's the way my children like to use the Digestin. There are omegas, IQ Mega, for kids as well, and it helps promote healthy cardiovascular, nervous, and immune system function. And it's in a liquid form, and we keep that. It has to be kept in the fridge, but it is in a liquid form. And also, what I love about that one is that you can use that to make an awesome throat spray. So when that flu and cold season comes, make sure you have your IQ Mega, because you can make an awesome throat spray for kiddos with that. And then Lavender Touch. And touch, anytime you see the word touch, it just means it's in a roller. And so you can add a few drops to pillows, bedding, to help them sleep at night. So Lavender Touch, it's another way to help them sleep, just like Calmer is. That's some quick review of oils for kids we can use. So oils for teens. So teens, as they get bigger, there's a lot going on, because now they're starting to grow. They're starting to mentally, they're starting to try to transition to who they're going to be, identity. You have hormones starting, just a whole lot going on once you start to get into teenagehood. And so again, I have a list of things you can use with teens. One thing that they deal with that comes with hormones is acne. And so if you're dealing with acne and struggling with acne, one thing that we want to do is make sure we keep the skin clean. And so HD Clear is usually my top recommendation for anyone that's acne prone. Both of my children use that, and I also use it just because I buy it for them anyway. There are some more skin solutions that we offer, but this is where I usually start and see how it goes. So you can use HD Clear, which I love it, so you can try that. And it comes in a little pump, so it's easy to use. Motivate is an oil, and it also comes in a roller that helps with them with confidence, courage, and belief. So one thing I want to say is that in the previous slide we talked about kids oils. Now those kids, it's presented as the kids line, but there are adults and teens can use those as well. So if they prefer some of the kids oils, by all means, have them use those, because really the difference with the kids oils is that some of those oils they're awesome, and they're going to give you the same effect as you will have for the same effect that you will have for using other oils. It's just that they're a little milder, so they're not as strong to the smell. So that's why some adults prefer those. I think someone, several people join me. Make sure y'all mute yourselves. I think I hear someone.
That's probably me.
Go ahead and mute yourself. Okay. So the next one, Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I'll come back to that. We'll talk about protocols. Intune. So Intune is one that helps with focus. So we're studying and things like that. You can use Intune. But what I've personally discovered with Intune is that was very powerful with helping me with panic attacks. So if your teen is one that's a little high strung and, is prone to maybe some panic attacks, you might want to try the Intune blend as well as some of the other blends that were in the kids line as well. Also for emotional support, I do recommend using the grounding blend. Mito 2 Max is one that helps increase mental energy, and it also helps with if they suffer from things like adrenal fatigue. So when I was in high school, I was a child who liked to do lots of stuff. So I was involved in all kind of clubs. I was in honors classes. I was just go, 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 go. And so at some point, my doctor basically told my mom, you need to make her stop. You need to make her slow down. And you need to get her some rest. Probably what we should have had was Mito 2 Max, because that probably would have helped as well. So that's something you think about. If you have one of those overachiever or constantly going kiddos, you want to support them with that. The Mito 2 Max may be something to think about. Another one is On Guard beadlets. So a beadlet is basically 1/3 of a drop in a little gel capsule thingy. And it's like if you pop them out too fast, you're going to lose it because they will roll on you. But just be careful with that. But I like those because we can take them with us. They're easy to take. They fit in your pocket. They can fit in their backpacks. If they're starting to feel a little cruddy, they can just pop 1 or 2 of those in their mouth. For some reason, my children like to pop them open. The oil comes out and then they spit out the gel. I don't know. Well, you can swallow the little capsule it's in because it's vegetable based. And the last suggestion on here is Terrazyme. So Terrazyme is really important for everybody, but we want to make sure we get our teens used to it as well because it helps with healthy digestion and it gives you these enzymes that we're missing. Lots of teens, especially we know, and I know because I struggle with this with mine, eat lots of processed food, and processed food is void of nutrition. And so the enzymes are going to help 2 ways. It's going to help break down and get rid of that junk, and plus it's also going to help them create a healthy gut. So that's something that we recommend as well. So we talked a little bit about their hormones can be a little wacky at this point. And one thing that I recommend for any parent to think about getting is the Clary Calm. Now, typically they talk about it, and you can see it says doTERRA Women's Blend because it's in the doTERRA's women line. But anyone can use it that is suffering with any kind of hormonal imbalance. Now, if your son sees it says doTERRA Women on it, he's probably not going to use it, but men or women can use the stuff for hormones. So basically you rub it on the back of your neck, the bottoms of your feet, or on your wrist to regulate hormonal mood or swings day or night. And then if it's, during maybe your daughter's time in the month, rubbing it on, I know people that have rubbed it on their abdomen or on their back to help with menstrual cramps as well. So the one thing we want to really think about doing for teens at this point in their lives is starting to teach them good habits. So teaching them and allowing them to build their own personal protocols is really important. I personally would recommend if you can get them to take LLV, that would be an awesome start because then they'll be used to that going forward. But I know that everyone cannot swallow the pills that are in there. Now, 2 of them, you can open them and you can put them in water. The vitamins, especially that Microplex VMZ, you can open those and put them in water or a smoothie and get them to take it that way. Some of them simply, they may not. So if your teen can take them, I would start them with maybe 1 of each a day. A full dose of LLV is 4 capsules a day. I would start them with 1 and go from there. As they, get older, and if you feel like they need more support, then increase it. The other thing, if they are adverse to that, they can do the children's, like my son, he's adverse to any of these things you see on here, but he will take the kids vitamins, the kids liquid omega, and the PB Assist powder, which I forgot to include the picture in here. There is a PB Assist powder, which basically stands for probiotics. And we know we all need probiotics to have a healthy gut. You're going to see that's going to be a major theme, is we want to have a healthy gut. But if they won't take any of those, the other option, and this is what I do for my daughter for her protocol, is to use the soft gels. So the soft gels are really a lot easier for them to swallow. They're going to be smaller, they're going to be softer, and they're going to slide down their throat easier. And so what I have pictured here on the bottom are all the different soft gel options there are. So there's On Guard Plus, which is our immune booster. There's Zendocrine, which is for detoxification. There's Tri-Ease, which is for your seasonal support. You know, when the seasons change and they start sniffling and sneezing. You have DigestZen soft gel. You have Serenity for sleep, and you have the Copaiba, which is good for all over health. So my daughter's protocol is the On Guard, the Copaiba, and the Tri-Ease. So those are the three that she pretty much takes every day. So just think about what are your teens' needs, and then you go from there and you build their own protocol. So we know we all probably need and she also takes a PB Assist Junior. So we all know we need to work on our gut health, so you can start there. But then if they need other support, like they have lots of digestive issues, you can add the DigestZen as well. So one thing we want to mention too is that we have a Facebook group, and it is called Amazing Life Public Education. And I have the location for that at the bottom of this slide. But one thing I do on Wednesdays, that I personally do on Wednesdays, is called DIY Wednesday. And so what I do is around 8:00 p.m. Central Time. I'll go live on Facebook, and I'll talk about different ways that you can incorporate the oils into your everyday life. And so we usually have recipes that we'll talk about or we'll use or that I'll share. And so this is just an example of something for DIY Wednesday, and it deals with kids and teens. So the nightly pimple buster. So you can make a roller, take 15 drops of Melaleuca, 15 drops of lavender, 15 drops of Frank, put it in a 10 ml roller bottle, and top it off with your carrier oil, which I use fractionated coconut oil, and then just apply at bedtime to the areas of concern. So this will be after they, use that HD Clear or they wash their face. And so the HD Clear has a whole system, but my son won't do the whole system. I can get him to wash his face, and maybe one more thing, which I'm going to get him to use this because he's the one that suffers the most with acne right now. The other thing is called teenage tantrum, because even though they're teenagers, they still can have tantrums. And so this is a roller that you can make, and you can put 17 drops of Balance and 13 Citrus Bliss in it, drops of Citrus Bliss, and then in a 10 ml again, and top off a fractionated coconut oil. So if you have, your son won't use the Clary Calm, this is another option that you can use that can help balancing hormones and help them with anxiousness as well. So that's a good one. Another one is, lots of times our kids are run fevers, and sometimes we don't know what's going on with them. And the bad thing that we want to do is we want to give them things that will get rid of it. Unless your kid's fever is really, really high, you really want to allow the body to naturally break it. And so one thing you can do to help support that is to use peppermint, lavender, or lemon, or a combination of all three diluted in coconut oil and apply it to the bottoms of their feet. And so that helps if your kid's having fevers. I know fevers always freak parents, especially moms, out, but that's one way to support them if they are having this fever, because sometimes we don't know what's going on and they could be fighting something, and we need just to support that a little bit. So how do you improve your family's lifestyle? You need to create daily healthy habits. And we talked about that already. And we talked about everything on the screen too. So, and we know that doTERRA's supplements are formulated and they're going to be high quality as well as the oils. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, I want to make a change, Joy, what do I do? Well, the first thing you do is start out with a wellness consult. Attend a class or set up a wellness consult. You can set up one with me or whomever shared this video with you. There are several people that work with me, and we're on a team. If you go to the Amazing Life Public Education page, you're going to see many of them there. They're going to post things. They're going to have videos as well. Any of us can help you and be happy to help you. there. And once you do that and you start loving the oils as much as we do, you can find out, sorry. Touched my jump drive, sorry. So get oils for free. You can do that if you share with others, and we can show you how you can get oils for free. I have several people on my team where they receive a check from doTERRA and they turn around and they use that check to pay for their oils every month. And then if you're really crazy about the oils like I am, then you can earn income by helping people learn and sharing the oils with them. And all three of these steps, I can help you learn how to do that. Not a big deal at all. So if you're ready to get started, you want to know, how do I purchase the oils? And so I just pulled a couple of starter kits that you can start with. The kids kit, that's the one we talked about on the kids slide. And you see that cute little case that comes with it. That is there as well. And for 130 plus taxes and $3.99 shipping, you can get started. That's an awesome deal considering how much support you're going to have for the kids. And you get that kit, then you're ready for school and you're ready to have an awesome school year. Also, if you want to get something else, so you want to get a diffuser, you want to make sure you have fractionated coconut oil, you could also start with the Aroma Touch Diffuse Kit, and that one's $150 enrollment. And these are easy, and you need help, like I said, you can contact me or any of the one who invited you to watch the video. But what's really, really important for you to do is to make sure that you can get connected with someone that can help you, and you have resources. And so I have pictured here my favorite book. I actually learned even more about this book this past week. I was looking for something, and in the back it has lifestyle protocols. I was like, what is this? So this is an awesome book. I highly recommend Advanced Oil Magic. I already told you about the Facebook page. There are live classes that I hold and other members hold, so you can go to any of those. But just make sure you get connected to an oily tribe. So summer classes, we had women's and men's health. I had that in June. Then teens health was last night. And we're going to have a back to school class, will be August 9th at 6:30 at the Weekly Community Center here in Cypress. If you want to attend the class, let me know and I will make sure you have the information to do that. Again, I mentioned our Facebook group, Oil Amazing Life. I now have a new email. You can email me directly at joy@joysoilwell.com. Their website to order is here, and then online classes are in one right now, the 727, and the next one will be 810 when we talk about things we talked about for back to school. So that's pretty much all I had today. I hope this is very helpful, and I will see you guys or talk to you guys next month, and I hope you have an oil amazing life.